turn our attention to a fun segment called If They Survived,
Yep.
a segment where we take characters and we bring them back to life, so to speak. We say, hey, listen, you did survive. This is what happened to them. This is their life after camp, and this is a fun one. We both are looking forward to this segment. We're gonna
Yep.
carry it out in several episodes, and this is the first one. So for this, I have Ned from part 1 and Melissa from part 7. Uncle Pete, you have.
I had Jimbo from part 4 and Alan Rushak from part 6.
All right, so who are you going with first? We'll start off with you.
I'm going to go with Jimbo from part 4. So,
All right.
got my little notes here. So, Jimbo's search for the corkscrew took him outside. He was on a post-coital haze from his, recent lovemaking. So, he couldn't find a corkscrew, so he was going to go to the Jarvis house to see if he can borrow one of their corkscrews against he is able to escape the murder at Crystal Lake. So this gives him a new lease on life. He's like, man, I really have to my life. I don't want to be a dead F. So he's going to try and show off his new dance skills. He's like, you know what? I had a blast dancing. So he goes on the Gong Show and wins. Everybody loves the way that Jim dances. So he goes on to the Gong Show and wins. It's called the Not a DF dance. Takes off. He becomes a superstar. He actually becomes a dance choreographer for Madonna and Prince. So he does this for most of his life, and in his retirement, Big Jim now is a judge on the new 2026 version of Dance Fever.
That was great. I didn't know he had it in him, but good,
Hey,
good for him.
not a DF dance.
No, that was awesome. That was awesome. So, I will start off with Ned. Ned is a little bit more exciting but straightforward. So Ned left camp. He was rattled by what happened to him, obviously, and for a few years he recoiled from family and friends, but slowly recovered and went back to college before dropping out. He found his calling. He channeled his pain and trauma and became a stand-up comedian. He had some low-level success, and then actually caught a big break. In 1985. He opened for Sam Kinison, and it was then after that Sam introduced him to some people. He tried his hand at acting, and he was kind of floating around in the acting world, but it didn't really do too well. But he did peak. He actually landed 2 episodes in 1990. He landed 2 episodes of Knots Landing, so that was good for Ned. But realizing it wasn't for him, he decided to retire from acting, and what all great actors that don't find life on the screen do, he started teaching acting. He married in 1996 Kathy, and they have 1 son and 1 daughter. And he and his wife still live the married, modest life in Kentucky. Currently, he is writing a book and looking for a publisher, so that could be exciting. And the book is called Little Neddy Goes to Camp. So that's something we got to look forward to. Hopefully, he finds a publisher. Hopefully, he finishes his book. But he's doing well, and he's in Kentucky. So happy for Ned. Happy for him.
Happy for Ned, man. Good
Yeah.
job, Ned.
Yeah. All right, so we move on to Horshack, Alan HAWS.
Yeah, good old Alan from part 6. This one, it's a little bit of a darker turn,
Oh, no.
unfortunately. So
Jeez.
instead of hitting Jason on the back of the head with the shovel, Alan just runs and hides when Jason goes after Tommy. He's being a coward. This gives Alan time to escape. Now, he can't go back to the sanitarium. That's the last place he would go. He's trying to get out of that place. So he actually hitchhikes to Illinois to visit his cousin, who just so happens to be a member of the Cult of Thorn. His first meeting he attends to, he witnesses a ceremony performed on a baby with the large man with the white mask just watching in the background. So, and also, side note, sorry, I got to get my notes.
Yeah, no, take
So
this
on
deep.
Halloween, he finds a beaten body with a white mask laying on the floor, and still traumatized by what happened and being influenced by the cult of Thorn, he picks this mask up and places it over his head and then walks out into the darkness. But a side note on that, now, since he wasn't killed, a body wasn't found in the grave when the grave digger's like, oh, he left it open because the body was actually missing. Sheriff saw this. He calls in the National Guard, who actually tracked down Jason because they know what happened in the past. National Guard corner Jason and they obliterate him into ash. So Jason is actually killed, and
Wow.
Rorschach is a new villain with the shapely mask.
Wow, that took a turn. Okay, that's interesting. That's good stuff. So I guess, Horshack or Alan Hawes, running away was the best thing that could happen for Camp Crystal Lake. And who knew? But
And he's the new Michael.
what is he up to? Yeah, it's kind of we got to watch out for him. All right, so we probably kind of maybe wish he died. I don't know. But anyways, that's gonna happen because we don't know with these people, and Melissa was a polarizing character, very good looking portrayal, obviously, but she was the bitch,
Mhm.
and some of that is represented in her future. So she ended up going home with us a broken arm and two broken ribs and no axe in the head, obviously. She tried to return to her job as a retail manager. Oddly, she wasn't too affected by the traumatic experience. I mean, she was handling it, as best she could. I mean, it wasn't a gravy. It wasn't a cakewalk for her, but she continued to model. We didn't know this, but part time before meeting up with the lead guitarist of the hit band Fuselage. The two the two moved to LA, married and divorced 2 years later. She scored big in the settlement and swiftly met a rich businessman who's a high-end real estate investor in the Los Angeles area. They married in 1998. They married in 1998. They had 4 kids. And while being filthy rich, Melissa matured and she became a prideful mom and was doing very well for herself until the puppy incident of 2006. This one traumatized her even more than Jason. She basically ran over a puppy in her neighborhood while driving her Porsche, and didn't go over too well in the neighborhood, obviously. So she did end up going to therapy, where she then developed an affair with her doctor, Dr. Sam Waxman. It became a scandal because it got out there. Now Melissa's man, he actually was pretty compassionate, stayed with her, but it gets weird now. In 2008, while on vacation in Belize, with her husband, Melissa went missing.
Uh-oh.
And despite a wealthy search, she was never found and is presumed that she had passed away. She has passed away, but still, it's not confirmed. And she leaves behind her husband and 4 kids. So
Oh.
that's kind of it's unfortunate. I mean, it kind
We
of
each
sounded.
had a dark turn and a
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We did. Right? Yeah, a foray into entertainment industry. Um but this one kind of I didn't even realize it until documenting Melissa's future story. But it kind of mimics Susan Jennifer Sullivan, who plays Melissa. I'm not too sure if you know about this, but
uh,
well, the consensus was she died. I think in 2008,
yeah, I
2009 or
remember
something
from
like that.
Crystal Lake Memories they talked about this, yeah.
Right? Yeah, but then there's also a rumor that she is alive.
Yeah.
Now she has a Facebook page. It's supposed to be an official one, but there is a rumor that she's just alive and she just separated herself from this. So, it was kind of funny how that kind of mirrors and anyways, that's what's happened to Melissa. If in future episodes we find out anything more, if I mean it's this happened what 2008, so it's a cold case, but if it heats up, you'll hear it first here on the Crazy Ralph
Definitely.
podcast. I guess the same thing with Hawes because man, that guy's a loose cannon and he's out there. So,
Yep.
um,
I don't know. Cult of Thorns sounded kind of sketchy, so I don't.
yeah, yeah. Usually you throw Cult in front of anything. You could throw Cult in front of an apple and it sounds kind of sketchy, right? Like it's, but anyways, we hope you enjoyed this
Yeah.
segment. We have some fun with this one.
Jim
Why
is a
not?
judge on the news. What did I say?
Yeah, yeah.
Dance Fever. Won
That's
the
good
Gong
stuff.
Show.
That's good
For
stuff.
you young guys, if you don't know what the Gong Show is, Jason and I are just old. Just look it up.
Well, we kind of we had to go with the time frame, right? Like,
Yep.
it's the same thing with me picking, Sam Kinison. It
Exactly.
was the time frame of, when Ned became a stand-up comedian. It's just
Yep.
the way it goes. Absolutely. And until next episode, I'll say goodbye, happy camping, and so long.
You're gonna